So hey folks, Scott, your Hoosier Marshal, back for another video. It's been a minute since I've made a video. Honestly, I have been busy. The title of this video, Vacation is Over. Last week was vacation and we tried to have as much fun as we could, and we did. And also, I haven't been making videos because I am just frustrated with the YTPC, and I'll get into that in a later part of this video. Like I said, it's been quite a while since I made a video. It was before I went to the Columbus Pipe Show, and man, I tell you what, I had a good time there. We drove 3.5 hours to get there. We spent about 3 hours there and drove 3.5 hours home in the same day. And it was worth it. I look forward to next year. It was fun. It was good to meet new people, meet people that you see on YouTube in the YTPC, and to hook up with the folks that you have met before and just sit and talk, have good camaraderie, smoke a pipe, and laugh. It was well worth it. So if you've never been to a pipe show, it would be in your best interest to make every effort to go to one, without a doubt. I made some purchases while I was there. I know Corvette Jim, CJ's Garage, did a crack that crap open on this stuff right here. China Black Whiskey. They say that they still make this. I don't know where you can buy it. They had 2 tins of this, or 2 tubs of this on the table. I bought one, Jim bought the other one. Very, very good stuff. I guess to each his own, but I greatly enjoy this stuff. And the guy at one of the booths said that who knows if he's feeding me a line of shit or not, but he had, says that he had most of what was left from the Sutliff factory. And he had many different bulk blends. And I bought a full pound of Sutliff Balkan 2, which is a very good smoke. And Jim gave me this Colt Blood Red Moon because I had said in one of my videos that I just have not found a cherry blend that I even care for. Of course, everybody loves the smell of it, but it usually just tastes like ass. Not the case with this, and thank you, Jim. I really do enjoy this, and I will definitely be buying more, so thank you. I bought McChrystal's Aztec. I think that's the one I got. Yeah, Aztec. Wow, this stuff, if you like chocolate, you will love this stuff. I took a picture of this and I text Donnie Stovepipe and I said, it's like Nestle Quick with nicotine in it. Very good stuff. And I picked up this, I've had this before. I think Donnie was the one who sent me this. Wee Dram. There's quite a difference in the Wee Dram and the Aztec. This is sweet chocolate. This has a strong alcohol taste to it, and it burns a little bit. Got to be careful with this stuff, but it's very good. I wish I would have bought more. The booth that was selling these had quite a bit of it, and if I would have used my head, I would have purchased more, because if you buy this stuff online, it comes from another country, England, and $10 for this tin, but they just rake you over the coals with the shipping. And that's what I paid for it at this show, $10. And I got home, I told my wife I could kick myself in the ass. What was I thinking? I could have stocked up on this stuff and not paid the ridiculous shipping costs of it. But live and learn. If I go to another show or I'm somewhere and I see it, I'm going to stock up. Pipes. I bought this beauty. There's no markings on this pipe whatsoever. I don't know what you call the shape of it. It's just, as I was walking through the show, they have all these really fancy meerschaum pipes, which last year I bought one. The expensive artisan pipes. For me, I love going and digging through the baskets of used pipes and seeing what I can come up with. And I came up with this one. It's one of those pipes that you just, when you're digging through those baskets, it catches your eye, and maybe that doesn't appeal to you at all, but it was calling my name. $20. I have no idea. There's absolutely no markings on it whatsoever, and I don't care. I like it. I paid a little more for this one, but man, do I really like this one. I don't know if you pronounce it Baronet. Um, I looked it up, and Baronet, Bruyere, however you pronounce that, made in Italy. And I looked it up, and this is a Sutliff company. I don't know if it's like Baronet is like Rossi is, a seconds. I don't know. I don't know if this was a company that Savinelli acquired, but the company it's a Savinelli. Not that up on the history of it, but I did Google it, and that's what I found. But the bowl on this is awesome. It's huge. Put your favorite blend in there and smoke it for an hour and a half. Uh, you could use it as a clincher, but it's not as heavy as it looks. But I'm not much of a clincher anyway. But this one, I'm so glad I found this one, and I absolutely love it. I paid a little more than 20. I paid $60 for this. I don't think that's bad price at all. Love this thing. Also, Ethan Parsimonious Piper, stupid fly. When he shows up at these shows, apparently he likes to blend tobaccos, and he gave out these little jars of the different blends that he made. I have 4 of them. I didn't bring them all over here. This one says Turkish, but I've tried them all now, and they're all very, very good. So thank you, Ethan. You did a good job with this, with all of them. And I just realized with the video, I guess, montages that I have put together to put in this video, and with me running my pie hole, it's going to be a long video. Sorry about that, but bear with me. I even had to take notes. It's been so long since I made a video, and there's so many things I wanted to talk about. While I was on vacation, I was on a mission, and I cut down some trees in my yard. I had 2 pine trees that I was absolutely sick of mowing around and keeping them trimmed. And then they grow again, and you're trying to mow under them, and you're trying to duck and not get poked in the face. And I finally just hacked them down. Cut them down, limbed them, bucked them, split them, put them in a pile for firewood to be used in my outside fire pit. I don't burn pine in my wood stove here in the barn. But those are down. I have 2 other larger maple trees I wanted to get down, but we didn't get to that point because we just did things and had fun. The Saturday, the first Saturday I was off, I went fishing with my son Lance. It was miserably hot. The fish really weren't biting. We caught a few fish, but I'll throw in a short video of that right here. almost forgot. This video is brought to you today by none other than Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Frosty cold one every time. That's better. We took off the Monday, took a road trip on the Harley. We went back over a little farther east than Columbus, Ohio, stayed in Lancaster, Ohio, and we went to Hocking Hills, which is beautiful. And they have all kinds of trails you can hike, and we hiked one trail to a cave, the old man's cave. We hiked that one, and this old man didn't want to hike anymore. It was miserably hot that day. It was like 91 degrees. Sweat my ass off, but I did it. It was fun. It's pretty. And there is a scenic byway that goes through Hocking Hills. That is really hilly and windy, and we rode that on the motorcycle. And I'll put a video clip as you're watching it. I don't know at what point. It happened to us twice. A deer ran in front of us. The first time we didn't have the camera going. It wasn't close enough that I had to lock up the brakes or anything, but it'll make your ass cheeks pucker. The second time it happened, the camera was rolling, and you'll see a little deer run right out in front of us, jump over the guardrail and down the hill. But we survived, so here's that video. after we made it home, which if you take the highways to go where we were going, it's like a 3.5 hour drive. But when we're riding the motorcycle, I want to see the country. I don't want to take interstates or highways or toll roads. So we stick to the state roads, even county roads. Um, it was 5 hours for us to get there and back, um, taking the route that we took, which was just fine because that's the whole point of taking a motorcycle trip. So you can get out and enjoy riding your motorcycle. Um, and I'm telling you what, you want to take a trip, you want to get out and you want to see, you want to hear, you want to feel, smell the countryside, do it on a motorcycle. Do it on a motorcycle with that wind in your face. Whatever the weather is, it is. It's kind of dry. It's kind of, I guess, going away now. But I, my face, my forehead was sunburned. I wear a ball cap backwards. My forehead was sunburned. My nose was sunburned. My face. We wore sunglasses, so the raccoon eyes were there. We've had trips where we've had weather like that in the past. We've had snow, which sucks. We've had rain, or just cold, or just downright beautiful weather. You never know. That's the fun of taking a motorcycle trip. But when we got home the next day, we loaded the ATVs on a trailer and went riding. We spent about 4 hours. We go to an ATV park called Bundy Hill. It's in Jerome, Michigan. It's an hour-and-a-half drive to get there. Huge park, trails everywhere, little playground, sandy areas. You can do lots of things. You can have fun. And we did. We had fun. And the weather was nice. It was cooler. And the last time we were there, it had rained a lot. It was muddy, which when you're riding your ATVs, you don't mind if it's muddy or not, except for when you're ready to come home, you got to get in your truck and you're all muddy. But we've learned now, we take a change of clothes, change of shoes, so we don't have to deal with that even. But this time it had been drier, and a lot of the mud holes that were there previously, even one that I buried mine in, and she had to pull me out, was dried up, and I could ride right through it. So we had fun. So here's a video of that. And then before you know it, vacation is over and it's back to work. But WTF YTPC. What the fuck? I do not understand. I am so disgruntled and frustrated with the YTPC. I am seriously considering just changing the total content of my YouTube channel and moving in a different direction. Um, for a while we had Tim from his channel, Tim's School of Fish. He started a channel, Tim's School of Pipes. Awesome YouTube presenter. But he was right leaning. People didn't like that. He got so frustrated, he gave up his channel. He's back to his Tim's School of Fish and doing his knife thing and whatever. And some of you pushed him away. Some of you brought that on. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm so disgruntled and frustrated. We've had other people just recently just delete their channel. People that had been making content for the YTPC for a long time. Just boop, delete, done. Walking away. Why? Someone made a video the other day talking about how they've had death threats. Absolutely ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourself. Stupidity. We're here for fun. We're here because there's a group of people here that we gravitated to, and we make videos talking about our lives and what's going on. And it includes smoking a pipe. Jesus Christ, we've said it a million times. If you don't like what someone is talking about on their channel, don't watch it. If you subscribed thinking you might like it and you found out that you think their channel sucks now, unsubscribe. Go on with your life. Let me go on with my life. Let others go on with their life. You don't own YouTube. Let people put whatever content they want on their channel and be themselves. That's why I'm here. But I honestly don't know how much longer I'm going to be here because it's bullshit. So yeah, what the fuck, YTPC? Till my next video, Scott, your Who's Your Marshall, saying make sure you always take the time to tell those you love what they truly mean to you, because you never know when it just may be too late. Thanks for watching.